Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Extinguisher10, and today we are finding out what Madden thinks will happen in the playoffs. But if you're wondering what I think will happen in the playoffs, that video is next. That should happen sometime between tomorrow and when the playoffs start. So we'll get that video out real soon. But with all that being said, let's check out what Madden thinks will happen in the playoffs. So if you're not familiar with who is in the playoffs, well, here's the bracket for you. In the AFC, number 1 seed Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2 seed Bills is hosting the 7 seed Colts. The number 3 seed Steelers is hosting the Cleveland Browns. And the number 4 seed Titans is hosting the Baltimore Ravens. Now going over to the NFC. The number 1 seed is the Green Bay Packers with the first round bye. The number 2 seed is the New Orleans Saints. They are hosting the Chicago Bears. The number 3 seed Seahawks is hosting the LA Rams. That's right. Too many teams moving in California. So they are hosting the LA Rams. And the number 4 Potatoes are hosting the Buccaneers. Let's advance to the week and see what's going to happen. And now we have the results. The Bills lost to the Colts 14-35. The Steelers lost to the Browns 28-31. And the Titans lost to the Ravens 24-27. So far, every team in the AFC who was on the road won. So that's not looking good for the Chiefs. But going over to the NFC side, you see the Saints defeating the Bears, the Seahawks defeating the Rams, and the Potatoes losing at home to the Bucks. So we definitely have a trend going on. The away team has won 4 out of 6 games. But the really interesting thing is what's going to happen in the next round. So we have the Chiefs hosting the Colts, the Ravens hosting the Browns, the Packers hosting the Bucks. So you have 2 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks going at it. And then you have maybe another matchup of 2 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks. One is for sure, one is, we'll see. The Saints hosting the Seahawks. Let's advance the week one more time and see who wins this time. And as you can see, the Chiefs defeated the Colts 35-27. The Ravens were taken down by the Browns 28-38. That's kind of interesting. Browns are 2-0 in the playoffs so far. Are they going to be able to make a Cinderella story run, making the playoffs for the first time in like 20 years, winning a playoff game for the first time in even longer? And then on the NFC side, you have the Packers just taking it to the Bucks 38-20, and then the Saints defeating the Seahawks 35-24. So now in the championship games, we have the Chiefs hosting the Browns and the Packers hosting the Saints. So we have 3 of the highest seeds you could possibly have, and then the Browns. That's the story in this. Let's advance the week and find out who's going to the Super Bowl. And while we're at it, how about a little bonus coverage right before we get to the Super Bowl? We are seeing that Josh Allen wins the MVP if it was up to Madden. That is, Josh Allen's improved quite a bit, but he's not winning the MVP this year. No. And there you have it. In the championship games, you had the Chiefs destroy the Browns 34-7, and the Packers losing to the Saints 28-35. So now we have the Saints and the Chiefs. I think that's who I actually predicted to go to the Super Bowl last year, and I got one right. So anyway, Madden thinks that the Saints and the Chiefs will match up in the Super Bowl. Let's advance the week one last time and find out who wins. And there you have it. The Saints defeat the Chiefs 49-39. Quite the slugfest there. That is just a lot of offense in a Super Bowl, but that would be a very exciting game. I wouldn't be disappointed if that's how it turned out. What do you think? Does Madden have the right idea, or do you think they are way off base? And before we check out the stats for the week, I think it's time that you jump on down and hit that big red subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. It's about time that you join the team. We can't wait to have you. And if you did enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave her a big ol' like. It really helps out the channel. But with all that being said, let's jump in and check out these stats. And just how you want to see it, Madden had Drew Brees retire, and naturally you can't have statistics from a retired player in a game that he played. That would make too much sense. So we'll check it out for Patrick Mahomes. 131.3 quarterback rating, 335 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, only 2 sacks. That is a line from somebody you would have thought won the game, but that just tells you how good Drew Brees must have been. And on the rushing side, Alvin Kamara led both teams with 19 attempts, 119 yards, and 6.3 yards per carry with 3 touchdowns, really carrying the load. And then you have Le'Veon Bell. He's on the Chiefs? I didn't know that. Or did Madden have him pick him up? Anyway, Le'Veon Bell ran for 14 attempts, 59 yards, and 4.2 per carry, no touchdowns. Clyde Edwards, he ran for 40 yards, and probably the last guy of note would be Patrick Mahomes and his 25 yards. Leading both teams in receptions is Tyreek Hill with 9 and 163 yards through the air. And after that, it really kind of fell off, but oh boy, look at that. There was like no receptions for the Saints because the top 3 guys are Chiefs. That is amazing. Anyway, Nicole Hardman, 7 receptions, 62 yards, and then Sammy Watkins, 5 receptions and 51 yards. Easily the leader for the Saints is Dante Harris with 6 receptions and 49 yards. He did have a touchdown along with Jared Cook. He had 2. In fact, let's just check out the touchdowns. So Hardman with 3 touchdowns, Cook with 2, Tyreek Hill with 1, Harris with 1, and Le'Veon Bell with 1. Defensively, Demario Davis led both teams with 9 tackles. Charvarius Ward led the Chiefs with 8. And if you couldn't tell by the score or all the offensive numbers, you can definitely tell looking at the defense that this was an offensive-oriented game. Look at that. No one had more than 1 tackle for loss. There was 4 total in the game. Sacks, there was only 1 whole sack in the whole game, or at least 1 player with a whole sack. That was Trey Hendrickson with 1, and then Alex Alonso and Marcus Williams sharing a sack between the 2 of them. 2 sacks and 4 tackles for loss. That is amazing. How about interceptions? You have 1 by Marshawn Lattimore and 1 by L'Jarius Sneed. Wow, just no defense whatsoever. Well, maybe not none whatsoever, but very little defense. And then kicking, Harrison Butker, he had 1 kick, and that was it. Everyone else had extra points. And how the hell did the Saints not kick any extra points? There's their punter. Their kicker must have retired. Thank you, Madden, for making it so we could look at less. Well, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd really appreciate it if you did give her a big ol' like, if you haven't done it already. But until next time, this is Extinguisher 10 signing out. Have a great rest of your day.
See you, chump.